photographs of photographs and the body in the photographs that are on the blanket. It's like a lot of levels. But yeah, I'm excited about that. It was just kind of a spur of the moment, a combination of concept and process. There has to be this balance, at least the way that I make, everything kind of starts with a loose concept or an idea, and then you kind of let yourself intuitively kind of play. Knowing how to play around with material sometimes actually infuses the concepts. I appreciate just being lost in this field of texture created by the patterns of the leaves. It's comforting to be underneath something so dense. I know it scares some people. I've actually had that conversation with people before, where they're like, I don't really like being in the woods because it's just too much. When you're out here, you kind of look at everything through the lens of an artist. Once you go that way, you go that route with your life, you can't go back. So something like this, you look at it as an abstract sculpture of some kind, something organic, made out of weird hardware materials or something. I'm just you can't help but think that way. You can't help but see things that way once you're down that rabbit hole. I've been binding my sketchbooks since I learned how to bind books in college. You can kind of see the thought process of where the compositions come from right there. Let's see. Some of it's just writing, some of it's just playing around, experimenting. So it's kind of like this document. I kind of think of it like the most important piece of my work that nobody sees. It's a lot of thought and experimentation that goes into everything. You're never going to figure out solutions to problems down the line if you haven't failed and played. Yeah, that's my little sketchbook that I found for recently. Specifically, I'm working on a project right now where I'm in the past I've been making my body because I have this kind of Greek Roman kind of look. I can make my body look like a statue of Venus or whatever, right? So using that imagery and putting it into the collages in the past, but recently I've been thinking about investigating specifically the goddess Diana, which is my namesake, and kind of reincarnating some of what she represented and her personality and her stories, and actually take on her persona in a series of photographs. So that's something I'm working on right now. A lot of the work over there on the wall, kind of investigating the relationship of sexuality and religion, that was kind of a jumping off point for me. When I was at Vermont Studio Center at that residency this summer, I made a series of prints with those photos. So here's one of the prints. I'll show it to you. One of the prints from that series, kind of investigating that imagery, using my own specific imagery that I've kind of been using consistently, these abstract detailed line work and things like that, filling the composition that I had in mind. what do I find beautiful? I don't know. I think that I don't find imagery to kind of give that to me. I find like moments or kind of distorted, abstracted memories to kind of remind me of beauty. So I only really know this through stories from my mother because I obviously don't remember it. As a child, I used to, create site-specific installations with objects that I had, and they would all be like themed with like specific colors or like, random genre of objects. Like it was only utensils, like silverware, like I don't know. It was mostly all intuitively done, but I think that as you get older, you kind of start to throw that kind of thinking away a little bit, but I think that it was kind of always there for me and also always encouraged. My art teacher told me like you're an artist. And it was always kind of just like reinforced, like even in elementary school, having that encouragement always, like that positive reinforcement for this behavior that I had, like literally this behavior that I had that not many other people had, that could have been discouraged and I could have just shoved down, was reinforced over and over again by different people I respected in my life. And I think that that experience was the reason that, I'm here. So it's gonna be a blanket. Good night.
It smells like glue.
Like bad glue.
My favorite color is orange, mainly because of its association, personal association I have with the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween and fall, which is a very big comfort. And there's a scene at the very end of Texas Chainsaw where Leatherface is chasing the woman, the one female who's left, as the sun is rising in the morning. And she gets away on a truck, but he basically does a very majestic dance with a chainsaw in like orange sunlight. And I think that that is like everything. It's like so many things. The color of orange being warm, associating with fall, and all of that. Which way do you want to go? So my work kind of comes from a place of examining gender identity and sexuality, thinking about morality, and also kind of cultural practice. The processes that I work in are actually super important to the work that I make. I take photographs, I make collages, I do a lot of printmaking, I work with fiber, and all of those processes usually kind of infused with the meaning behind the pieces. So something as simple as an act of pulling woven cloth apart will be a part of the concept of the work. So it's a wonderful balance between concept and process. I'm Diana Palermo. I'm a visual artist. I work primarily in New Jersey, and I am an art educator. If you have any more questions or want to learn any more about my work, go to my website, dianapalermo.com.